Monday, August 6, 1945 at 8:15 a.m. at an altitude of 31,000 feet above the city of Hiroshima in Japan, the bomb-release doors of an American B-29 bomber opened. While in the streets of Hiroshima, people enjoyed the favorable weather of that day. The pilot leans forward to press a key. Now the people of Hiroshima are only 15 seconds away from the destruction of all their dreams. The people of Hiroshima, who suffered the least damage from the bombings during Second World War, did not even think that the first atomic bomb in history would be used on their city and 80,000 people would be destroyed in an instant. The people of Hiroshima, like all other days, were going to work that day when at 8:15 they saw that the sun above them turned into two. The reason was that the Americans exploded the bomb at a height of 600 meters to use all energy of the bomb to destroy the city. You should know that at this time, Germany, Japan's ally, has surrendered, and it is Japan that has not surrendered, and its country is being bombed by America every day. Most of the people of the city die at the same moment, but those who are far from the center of the explosion describe what they saw as follows. The ground is constantly shaking, the whole city is so hot that it's impossible to bear this heat. The sound of breaking glass is heard every moment because this glass was the cause of death of many people. It has become very difficult to breathe because all kinds of dust and fumes from the explosion have taken over the entire city. Some people put their clothes over their mouths to block the dust, but if they are standing, this is useless because the only place where the concentration of dust is a little less than other places is on the floor. The meaning is that they have to throw themselves on the ground to breathe. Of course, the ground was very hot and sleeping on the ground was tormenting them, but this was the only possible way to breathe. The ordinary people of the city just want to find a place to breathe, but there was no such place. Those who were more than 2 kilometers away from the explosion were in a better condition and could breathe, and the blast wave only broke the windows. What do those who are within 2 kilometers define? Those who were standing by the windows all died, because the old windows became like daggers and whoever was behind them was killed. But those who remained safe said that we heard a very powerful explosion and after a few seconds we saw something like a mushroom rise up. "90% of the city of Hiroshima was made of wood, and because of this it was razed to the ground. The only buildings that were left intact in this city were the old brick buildings that were built in a very basic way, which are still there. The only people who were present in the short distance of these explosions and survived were those who were inside these strong buildings. Of these basic buildings that were preserved after the explosion as the history of that day. After this explosion, if anyone went to the place of the explosion, they would not see a body, but only a skeleton, because the high heat of the bomb did not keep any flesh and skin intact. Of course, those who were close to the place of the explosion had a very high chance of cancer due to the radioactivity. You should know that the people at that time did not know that it was an atomic explosion and that there was a lot of pollution. Most of the people who survived after this explosion decided to reach a river so that they could breathe more easily. The bomb had raised the temperature of the area to 50 degrees Celsius, and there was no drinking water. The ash, smoke, and steam created by this explosion slowly rise up, and after an hour it starts raining. Not the rain we know, the rain whose drops are acid. Raindrops blacken wherever they fall, because an acid cloud had formed and very black drops were falling. These drops mixed with the ash in the air and were very dangerous. Of course, there is also radioactive contamination in environment, but people have no knowledge and do not have that every breath they take is contaminated with a deadly substance. The people who have reached the river are so hot that they jump into the water and cool off a little. But the black raindrops hit the river and the river water becomes more polluted. Unfortunately, all those who ate from the river water and were alive after the explosion all got radioactive contamination and died in less than a month. All those who were near the explosion died, but a small percentage of them survived and told these stories. 135,000 people will be killed in this city in one moment. The United States government is still in Japan. Did you see the bomb? So surrender and finish the World War. And the Japanese government said, no, you didn't know how to make a bomb. It wasn't a bomb, it was a heavenly disaster. America says, don't joke, we will do it again. Japan also says, do whatever you want. 3 days later, a more powerful bomb will explode in Nagasaki. Nagasaki was smaller and less populated than Hiroshima, and that's why 64,000 people died there. After this explosion, the Japanese government realized that these are bombs, and if they don't surrender, the third bomb will come. It is interesting to note that the third bomb was also ready, because they thought that the Japanese would not surrender with the second bomb. After the Nagasaki bomb, the Japanese surrendered and Second World War finished with the defeat of Germany, Italy, and Japan. It is interesting to note that in this war in East Asia, China was also an ally of America.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.